The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to alter our table recipes to add this JSON-B column, and we're just going to call it meta. You don't really have to give it much more information than that. You just have to say, like, I'm going to give you a column. It's going to be called meta, and it's going to be a JSON-B one. And then at that point, it's kind of unbounded. You can make these columns as big or as small as you want. So let's head back over here to our database. You can see here I still have all of my tables. So I'm going to say alter table recipes, add column, meta. I just called it like meta because you could have anything in here, like any sort of like metadata, but this is just the name of the column. You can call whatever you want, and there's nothing special about meta, either the name or the company. JSON-B. And you can see now if I say describe recipes, I have this meta column that is of type JSON-B. Now imagine if we wanted to add like tags to our recipes. This is gluten-free, this is good for keto, this is chocolatey, things of that nature. That's what I'm going to use this for. So I'm going to say update recipes. I'm going to set meta equal to, you're going to put a single quote here, still, right? It's basically going to take your string that you provide to it, and then it will process it. And then it's just valid JSON at this point. So you need to use double quotes appropriately and things like that. Like, it's not a JavaScript object, it's actually JSON. Tags, and then we're going to give it an array of chocolate, dessert, and cake. Okay. And so that is what I'm going to put there. Then I'm going to say where recipe ID equals 16. So I updated exactly one column here where the recipe ID is 16, and I set the meta to this. So let's just see what that looks like. Oh, I actually do a couple more here. So if you followed along with me, just grab a few more of these here. Kind of the same thing, I just wanted you to have a few to query. So I'm just going to copy and paste those in there, hit enter, and you can see there I updated 3 more. Actually, you can copy and paste all of them because that first one would be, you'd just be setting it again to the same thing, doesn't matter. So first thing, let's just say select meta from recipes, where, and you can just say where meta is not null if we just want to look at all of them right now, right? Because the rest of them, it'll be null because we haven't set them yet. And you can see here, it actually just gives you back this like JSON object. Notice it's not a string, it actually is giving you back this like JSON-B object. Now let's say if I wanted to select just the tags, because you might imagine this is like meta info, this is a JSON object, we can put anything in here, right? We could add another column, we can take back another column. It's like JSON, right? It's a JavaScript object that we can just keep adding and deleting things from without altering our table. Right now it has just one top level key, but we could have many top level keys. Okay, so let's say I just wanted to select from meta here, I want to select just the tags. I'm going to use this arrow. So it's a dash and then a right pointing angle bracket. And I'm going to select just tags, and I need to put that in a single quote here because it's actually the value that we're looking for. And then here, now notice I'm getting back these arrays. I'm not getting back the whole object, I'm just getting back the array. We selected just the tags out of meta, right? So you can see here we're getting back just the array. What if I want just the first one, right? I just want the first thing to come back. So I want dessert, dessert, chocolate, and dessert. You can actually keep going here, so I just give it another arrow and ask for 0. You can see here now I'm getting back dessert, dessert, chocolate, and dessert. As you may imagine, you can do 1 as well. If you get 2, you should get probably empty strings, I imagine. Let's see. Yeah, empty string, empty string. This one had cake, so it actually did have a third one. So I got cake back here, and then I got nothing. If I asked for the 10th one, it would just give me back a bunch of empty strings from where meta is not null. A couple things to notice. First of all, notice it's giving me question mark, column, question mark, because it actually doesn't know what this is called, so you actually should give it as like an as, right? So here you should give it like a as first tag, so it actually has like a good useful name up here, right? Otherwise you get that weird question mark column thing. The other thing to notice here is it's giving you back still, this is technically a JSON string, right? Because it's thinking it's like you might query like later and more deeply into this. So on your final terminal thing where you're actually trying to get out just the thing that you want, give it 2 angle brackets like that, and it'll actually give you back now. It's like, okay, you're actually getting back a real string now, right? This isn't a JSON string, this is just text. In our case, it doesn't really matter because we're just reading out of this, but when you're actually trying to get it out of your database and into your code, it actually will make a difference. So yeah, the last thing that you're trying to get out here, when you're actually trying to get a string out of it, you'll use this like double angle bracket looking thing here. So that's that. You saw here, we can get the different array indexes. And it's the same thing. Imagine you have nested objects, because you can have infinitely nested objects. You could have like, you know, user, then address, then state. You could go multiple layers deep inside of that using keys as well, right? It's just JSON. Okay, so let's say that we have like search facets on the side of our application, like our recipe website, right? And we wanted to look for only the cakes, right? We wanted to exclude all of the other dishes. We wanted to search by tag. So we want to search into this JSON object to grab only the cakes. So what we can do here is we can say, and I'll just clear this so you can see at the top, select recipe ID, title, and then meta, and we're going to grab just all of the tags so you can see that we're not lying here. From recipes, we don't want that last comma. From recipes, where meta tags, and then you can do this question mark to say I want to find ones that have cake. So I select from recipe, title, or meta tags, right? So you can see that I'm getting all of those here. From recipes, and then I'm selecting into meta, where it's looking into the tags, right? And it's asking, do you contain cake? That's something I frequently ask a lot of things, do you contain cake? And so notice it's not giving me back the other ones, right? Like if we go back up here, this is a dessert fruit, so it doesn't give me back this one. This one's dessert fruit, it doesn't give me back that one, right? It gives me just the 2 that have cake in the tags. So that's what that question mark does, is it's asking, do you have any cake? So specifically what that question mark is asking is like, do you have a top level thing called cake? So in theory, if I just did meta here, and I could ask it, give me only things that have tags. Notice we got back all of 4 of them because they all have tags. If I had like a different thing in a different column that had meta but didn't have tags, it wouldn't get that back, right? So that's what this question is asking, is like, give me everything that has a top level thing called, or top level key, which works with arrays, right? That contains tags. If you want to do it specifically in an array contains value, there is a thing for that as well. So what you do is meta, and then you can do this like ampersand angle bracket, and here you would ask for, I think you have to put double quotes inside of this. Let me check if that's actually true. No.
Should it be meta tags?
Yep, not meta, thank you. There you go. Thank you. So here we're asking for meta, we're asking for tags, and then we're going, does your array contain the string cake? That's where the outermost single quotes means you're looking for some sort of string inside of Postgres. The inner double quotes means I'm looking for the array in a string cake.